has been one whole year, guys. 1 year into 2 weeks to slow the spread. I can't believe it. This is something I was not expecting. I was expecting to go home from work, wait 2 weeks, and then go right back to work, but I ended up losing my job. I couldn't perform anymore. I had all my gigs canceled. I was confined to my house for like 5 months till I found another job. And it, here we are, 1 year later into 2 weeks to slow the spread. I know this is like one of the easiest jokes to make, but it's one of those things where it's just like I still can't wrap my mind around it, where it was just like everyone was in agreement of just like, okay, let's just try to slow this thing down, let's just try to get it. And all these, I don't know what to call them, just slime balls, just exploited it completely. Because I'm not even joking, that wasn't exaggerating. I wasn't trying to have the plight of other people, of me saying I like lost my job and couldn't perform anymore. That's exactly true. They gave us like 2 weeks off at my job, sent us home, and then like when the 2 weeks were almost up, they told us to go on furlough. We went on furlough, and once we got a call back, which like almost like 3 months later, they completely cut my position after 5 years of working at my job. Cut my position, and then I had to figure out, okay, should I go back under a different position and make a lot less money, or just find a whole new job completely? I was planning on leaving that job to go perform full time, so I thought by the time that I tried to go back, or if I just didn't go back, I would basically, they would relieve all the restrictions and everything like soon after. This is like June, because we thought like the summer the sun would like kill the virus or whatever. So I said no to the new position because they cut my commission and all this other stuff. I would have been making a lot less, and still nothing. I found a job. It pays astronomically way less than I got at the other one, but it was a lot less stressful. I don't know if you remember, if you see my videos at the beginning of the year, I was having like really weird, I don't know what it was completely, but I went to the doctor. He was saying that it's most likely due to stress, but the stress was like giving me like panic attacks and anxiety and things like that. It was an extremely stressful job. It was like I was all over the place. I might get into that one video one day or another. I left that job. I still couldn't perform, so I'm kind of stuck with one pay source. But yeah, enough with me. I know it's been sucky for me, but other people who own stores, they completely closed those stores. Like, hey, you want to go and get groceries from that store around the corner? No one could work. No one could do that. We're going to give you money and give that money right back to Target, these big box stores. It's like, I still don't understand people. It's been a year. You still see people driving in a car with their mask on. People who walk by themselves, like with no one around them with their mask on. People still haven't really thought about it. Like, I try to explain it to people. When you try to wake people up, this is what I say. It's like, okay, you close every single store, like all the small box stores in the area. No one could work, no one could do it. And then you tell everybody to go to the exact same Walmart, the exact same Target to go shop. Does that make any sense to you? It just, I know I've been ranting about this for the past entire year, but it's so frustrating what this has done and how many lives it's destroyed. Suicides are up, abuses are up, children aren't going to school. Oh yeah, an entire, I think a school in California, the entire like board resigned because they were like, oh, they just want their babysitters back.
Are we alone?
Yeah.
If you're gonna call me out, I'm gonna you up.
The unfiltered conversation caught on camera Wednesday night among the Board of Trustees with the Oakley Union Elementary School District.
They don't know what we
Right.
do behind the scenes, and it's really unfortunate that they want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back.
Right.
Right.
The candid discussion that lasted several minutes abruptly cuts off when they realize they had an audience.
Oh, we have the meeting open to the public right now.
Nuh-uh.
Someone not only tuned in, but recorded the meeting and uploaded it to YouTube.
It's just, I don't get it. It's just, I still don't understand it. It's like people are still asking for stimulus checks. I don't know why no one's asking to just reopen the economy. Look at that whole thing with the GameStop and the entire Bitcoin situation. The reason it keeps going up is because you're printing out money, devaluing it, and people are just taking that money, putting it into Bitcoin, and it's going up way, way more. Oh yeah, and the thing that affected me and a lot of my friends, or people in my profession, magicians, we have a lot of things, we pass things to people, you do all these different types of stuff, or whatever. Everything, it's either that they don't do it anymore, or it's completely virtual. And the virtual shows, I gotta say, they're extremely awkward. I performed one, I did a couple. I know a lot of people who've just been doing it the entire time. There are some people just said forget it. It's like I could not put myself in that headspace of continuously doing it, because it just, my favorite thing about magic is the human element, or the best way to put it, I've heard people saying that your audience is kind of like your canvas, like to a painter. It's your audience, but when your audience is not even the same room as you, it just has this really weird, distant, there's no connection. I don't know. It's just, that's how I feel about it. And surprisingly, I have not seen any magician that said, hey, fuck this, I'm just gonna go out and do a show. There's a lot of musicians and things like that who are too afraid to go out and do anything. Also, a lot of venues won't book people. A lot of venues are also completely just shut down because they still have to pay their rent and they can't work or have people hosted in their area. Also, I want to congratulate every single one of the governors who had the harshest shutdowns in the country and then immediately get caught having dinner with no mask on, like Gavin Newsom. Just, I could not imagine having a massive slime ball like that as a governor. I should do more research into my governor in Massachusetts. I don't really know that much about him, but he kind of seems like a slime ball also. But there are just much, much worse people. He's been caught, I think, don't quote me on this, it was multiple times. I know that it was either 2 or 3 times. One of them he's caught right after Thanksgiving, telling people not to meet other people, not to do things. He gets caught in someone else's house it was in a restaurant with a bunch of other people with no mask on, laughing and stuff like that. And when after he got caught, he's sitting there laughing, smiling at the camera. Yeah, I should have done that. I should have better judgment.
Fox 11 in Los Angeles obtained these photos of the governor and his wife at a party in what the restaurant calls an outdoor section. It has walls on 3 sides, and the 4th side is open. Nobody's faces were covered. Today we learned 2 top executives from the California Medical Association were also among the 12 guests. To be clear, the French Laundry does appear to have been following state guidance for restaurants in Napa County at the time. But the governor has been preaching something different in public. He's been asking Californians not to gather with people from more than 3 households at a time.
Well, I want to apologize to you because I need to preach and practice.
I can't. I can't. Nancy Pelosi getting her hair done when she shut down she didn't do it personally, but there was a shutdown, but she got to do her hair and no one else could.
Nancy Pelosi is under fire today after surveillance video shows her at a hair salon getting a blowout and not wearing a face mask.
I take responsibility for trusting the word of a neighborhood salon that I've been to over the years many times, and that when they said, well, we're able to accommodate people 1 person at a time and that we can set up that time, I trusted that. As it turns out, it was a setup. So I take responsibility for falling for a setup.
Mr. Fredo, the brother of Fredo.
So you call me Fredo, it's like I call you punk bitch.
So if Fredo is Andrew Cuomo, is Chris, which one is he? Is he Sonny? Is he Michael? Which one? I don't know. I would say calling him Michael's a little bit too much credit. I don't know. I would just say he's just Fredo number 2. Cuomo, he's in trouble now. This is what is it? It's March 12th, so I'm filming this a little early. He's in trouble right now for being inappropriate with women. That's awful. That's bad. That is atrocious. But I think honestly, I think murdering around 9,000 people is bad. But you know what's worse? When the numbers almost double that and it's like 15,000 people. And the media is just saying, oh, he keeps getting accused by another woman. He's getting accused by another woman. That's pretty bad. But like they would barely would even like say anything about the COVID deaths that he tried to cover up. Also, he was putting sick people into nursing homes, and they were praising him throughout the entirety of 2020. The whole thing of 2020, he was like their god. And now he's just fallen from grace because he was being a complete fucking weirdo. But he is much, much worse murdering a bunch of people. But they won't get into that because they praised him and they can't go back on their word now. One of the best things that I saw, the only really change a few days ago, I think it was about a week from today or a little bit before that or after, it doesn't matter. Alabama and Texas decided to open up 100% 2 days ago now. I don't know how it's gone so far, but we all should have did this a long time ago. A very long time ago. I know now that we have the vaccine, the very rushed vaccine out, and they're trying to see how that goes, but it's insane how many people were just so upset seeing people just giving the option of putting risk in their own hands instead of the government doing it for them. And I to this day, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, you how dare you give people freedom? You're supposed to be authoritarian. Oh God, these people, oh God, just stupid. And I'm hoping that my state is next. I've been hoping for the last year, the entire year, and it has basically destroyed both of my. That's the thing. A lot of people are probably like, dude, why do you keep complaining about it? Why do you keep talking about it so much? It's because I'm one of the worst affected people from this. A lot of people benefited from it. Some people didn't really affect that much, all that much. But the people that are being ignored are people like me, someone who had it wasn't that I've had like some drawbacks. It was literally both of my careers. The one that made me like a lot of money, I was honestly planning to leave it eventually, but that was destroyed, and my passion on top of that was also destroyed. That also got me extra money, and those two things just completely just wiped out of existence, and I could not do it for an entire year. Also, my third thing that I love doing, all of 2019, I think I've been on a plane 5 times. 2019 was my travel year. 2018, I've been to like New York a few times, a couple different places, but 2019 was like, I've been like all over the country. 2020 was supposed to be the year where I went out and I went everywhere. I was able to go to Long Island, Ohio for Magi Fest, but everything else was just canceled. Couldn't do Magic Live. Everything was just stripped. And so I've been like completely just frustrated. I'm trying to explain this to people. There are people that this entire thing just destroyed many people. It's much worse than me. I'm probably in the most fortunate situation, but people have literally like they killed themselves over this. So that's what makes it extremely frustrating for me. It's just like if you walk outside or you don't do something, you're killing grandma, but like when you do a lockdown, it saves lives, even though a bunch of people are getting abused, a bunch of people are killing themselves, and that's just ignored. Don't think about it. Just don't think about it. Also, it just feels good to rant sometimes, especially to a camera. I feel like I'm annoying someone if I'm like sitting them down and I just want to talk about video games or something. I'm just like, yo, but this COVID thing, yo. But yeah, I got my, almost 15 minutes, almost. I just been saying, hopefully tomorrow they'll relieve some restrictions. Hopefully the next day they'll relieve some, just hopefully. And we already gave them too much power, and I don't know if they're ever going to give it up. Won't be surprised in 2024 what, 2024, if there's a new virus or a new variant, COVID-24 comes out, and we all got to be locked in and do mail-in vote and all this other garbage stuff. I don't know. It's just a really frustrating time. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Rant over. Yeah. 2 weeks of slow to spread 1 year later. All right. Peace, guys.